So most people want to start a business, but the biggest thing holding them back is money, right? They have the idea, they have the motivation, but they have no real way to cover the costs. And there's actually a smarter way to fund the first few initial steps with a 0% credit card. Here's how it actually works, and here's what you need to know so you don't get burned. This isn't financial advice. This is just my experience using 0% interest credit cards to fund a new business venture and how you can too. So first, what is a 0% credit card? This is just a credit card where they have a 0% interest introductory period. So you don't have to pay any interest from anywhere from 6 months to 18 months, depending on the card. And so what does this actually mean? You can take that money, use it to start your business, and then not have to worry about paying it back for another 12 to 18 months at 0% interest. So the way a normal loan would work is someone says, hey, I'll give you $10,000 at 5%. You pay me that back over time. Well, this allows you to get $10,000, $20,000, whatever you get approved for at 0% interest. And as long as you pay it back within that introductory period, you're gold. So here's a real world example of how it actually worked for me. So I had a short-term rental property in Nashville that I needed to be furnished and was opening. I didn't want to dig into my savings and I didn't want to raise money from investors. So what I did to pay for all of the furniture and the entire setup of the property was apply to a business credit card, and I got 0% interest for 12 months. Once I was able to use that money to buy all the furniture for the property, set everything up, the property was then cash flowing in the first 6 to 7 months. And after a while, I was able to pay off that business credit card. So essentially what it allowed me to do is start up the property with zero money out of my pocket, start getting the cash flow from the property to pay off the card over time. And then everything after that first 6 to 7 months was pure profit. So this is just a real estate example, but the same exact method works for starting up any type of business. And so you're probably like, well, how do you get approved for one of these cards? So here are 4 tips to give you the best chance of 1, getting approved for these cards, but 2, getting the most amount of money, so the highest credit limit. So if you're looking to get 20, 30, 40, 50K or more from a 0% business credit card, doing these things will give you the best chance. So number 1 is actually having a decent personal credit score. So even though it's a business, they will use your personal credit score. And if you have a great personal credit score, then you have a higher chance of getting a higher credit limit. So the second thing is registering an LLC, getting your EIN number, and opening a business bank account. So they actually will look at how long your LLC and business bank account has been open, and you definitely want an official LLC to apply. You can apply for a business credit card with a sole proprietorship, but it's definitely recommended to get an official LLC. And then the third step is, instead of using your personal information like your home address, your cell number, and like a personal email like a Gmail, to get a official business address, so getting like a virtual business address that's not your house, a real business phone number, and then, even for an email, instead of just your personal Gmail, like a website, so it'd be info@yourdomain.com. So all of this information just tells the approvers that, you're a legit business and you're not just, some guy off the street trying to get approved for business financing. And then the last thing here is estimating your projected revenue if you don't have any current numbers. So when you're applying for these business credit cards, they're going to ask you how much money your business is currently making. And if you're a brand new business, obviously that's 0. So you're able to project your annual revenue on there. So if you're going to make $80,000, $100,000, whatever it is, you could put that on the application, and obviously, your higher projection is going to give you a better chance of getting approved for a higher credit limit. Obviously, you want to be accurate here, but definitely don't put $0 for your, estimated income on your business. So what happens when the introductory period of 0% is up? Right, for most business credit cards, the interest will then go from 0% to a crazy number like 20% plus. So it's highly recommended that you pay off these cards before that interest period comes due, so that you can avoid these crazy interest rates. Another backup option would be, if you can only pay down some of the card and you still got a balance on there, to do a balance transfer to a new 0% intro period business credit card. And there might be some small fees associated with that, and both the cards have to be open to it, but at least that gives you a more time and a fresh time frame to pay off that balance as your business grows and is still getting going. So at the end of the day, this is just one way to get started when money feels like it's the biggest obstacle. But I hope this opened up your eyes a little bit. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.